Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how I did my Queen of Hearts makeup look and added some special effects in. First I put my contacts in because I can see through these ones pretty well, so it was still okay to do my makeup. And I moisturized as usual. My face goes super red, but that's just my rosacea coming through. I applied some concealer as a base for my eyes and also some Pro Shield, which just protects you from all the kind of special effects, materials and whatnot. Keeps your skin nice and clean and protected underneath. I applied just some basic foundation as my full face was not going to be covered in paint. And I contoured with a red shading down into a darker brown black almost. I went in with my red paint just because it was heaps brighter than my red eyeshadow, but I did blend it out with some red eyeshadow and just tried to put a really basic red coverage on. It doesn't need to be anything particular. I went in and started my red crown. Is it a crown? I'm not really sure what this part is. It makes her face look like a heart shape though, doesn't it? Did my lips in the same red and started my black lines. Every time I do these triangles on any look, I swear it's the hardest part. It's so fiddly and trying to get them symmetrical, but at the end of the day, just take your time and try and use a steady hand. I outlined my red, let's just call it a crown, my crown in some black just to make it pop more, and started lining up where I wanted to put my cards. The first thing I did was get some wax. This is just like modeling special effects wax, and rolled it up and warmed it up in my hands. That's spirit gum that I'm going to apply, and you want to let it dry till it's tacky, just like eyelash glue. I didn't leave it long enough because I was filming, but then you can place your wax on top and it will stick quite nicely. You want to get some Vaseline, which will counteract with the wax and help you kind of smooth it out and blend it around without the wax actually sticking to your fingers and coming back off. So as you can see, the wax kind of just smooths out rather than sticking to my fingers. Blend it out to the position you want it in. I probably should have painted my black line after I did the wax for this eye, but it still worked out okay. You can just slide your card in. It should just stick to the wax anyway. And then I have blended back out over the wax just to make it all look smooth and nice, and applied a little bit of foundation so it looks like skin. I applied some fake blood. I used a gel blood and then a stipple sponge with some normal stage blood, and that gives it that realistic look. Make sure you don't just cover the cut, maybe go up the card a little bit, go a bit further down your skin, add some drips. Just try and make it look as realistic as possible, and less is more with special effects. At this point I had started doing a live video, so I did lose a bit of content, but as you can see, I've drawn the suits of cards around my eyes, and I've put another special effects card on my collarbone. I then went in and started drawing the heart shape on my lips. This was really hard to keep my lips in the same position till the end of filming, otherwise the black would smudge. I would recommend waiting till the end if you can, or just trying to be really still. I made a little hat out of cards. It was actually so much easier than it looks. And just place that in with some bobby pins. I used a part A and part B silicone to draw a heart on my chest, which kind of dries to look like flesh. So as it was drying, I patted it with my finger to give it that texture, and then went over with some thin latex to add some more texture as it dries. It can take a while to dry if it's not a thin layer, so I just used my hairdryer to dry it all up and went over it with some fake blood. The darker your blood looks, the more realistic it'll look in such a big piece. Or you can, underneath the blood, add in some black shading. I wasn't looking for too much here, so I just kept it quite basic. I got my stipple sponge again and I went all over my chest and neck just to give some extra texture around my chest. And started doing some drips. The best thing to do is to kind of shake your brush upside down and you'll see the blood forms into a drip of its own, and then you can just place it on and it should start dripping. For this I actually used my body paint, but I would recommend using an eyeliner. I've used my very thin brush and just drawn around my eyes and connected it all up. And there you go. That is my finished Queen of Hearts look with some special effects added in and the contacts too.